Day 3 of my trip to Ghana during the year of return did not end up quite like we expected. The day began in Cape Coast with a great idea to take a canoe ride from the Cape Coast slave dungeon to the Elmina slave dungeon just a few miles away. It was a gorgeous day. The sun was blazing. The breeze was nice and easy. We were excited. And our host, the God Box Foundation, spent a lot of time working with the Cape Coast fishermen to get us in a canoe and get us there safely. Now, the first group got into the canoe with no issues. They were a bit of a distance away from us, and they were able to begin their journey with no problem. We were not quite so lucky. The waters were choppy, and the fishermen were having a difficult time trying to steady the canoe and push us off. The fact of the matter is, it was really too small for our crew.
Okay, so what they're discussing now is that this canoe might not be big enough for us.
It might not,
It might not be big enough.
We thought for a moment that all was well, then this happened.
Don't shake. Let's go ahead. Let's have Mr. Boy here. Mr. Boy here.
I can't. No, we gotta go. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
I got him.
We gotta go back. We got to go back.
No, we're good.
Holy God, holy God, holy God, holy God, holy God, holy God. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Can we go back? Can we go back? Holy God, holy God. Can we go back? Go back. Go back, sir.
A couple of our female crew members were not trying to chance this canoe ride, so they abandoned ship.
Hello, ancestors. Thank you. I love y'all. I honor y'all. I respect y'all. Y'all are strong. I can't do it. I can't. What happened? They're getting on the next boat. See, Roland has gone to sit down.
Yet I was insistent that although the canoe tipped over and tossed me into the ocean, destroying the 4K camera I was holding, as well as our drone and 2 iPhones, we would continue. So we had a earlier boat, and let's just say that boat was not big enough for our crew, and that bad boy almost capsized. I went over, so let's see, lost an iPhone. We also, hopefully our drone remote control still works, but luckily I got a lot of change of clothes. So we'll handle that when we go back. Now, why I and the others didn't insist on wearing a life jacket is beyond me. I'm certainly not a good swimmer, but I did trust the expert fishermen. It is a well-known fishing town, and they were all experts in the water. I must say, it was quite emotional and spiritual being in that canoe on the water. As I looked out across the South Atlantic Ocean, I felt a real kinship with the brothers and sisters who were stolen from the shores of Ghana and taken to a world they had no idea existed. Being on that ocean was peaceful, serene, but also sad, for many of our people chose to end their lives by jumping into the ocean rather than suffer the cruel fate of being enslaved in Brazil, Haiti, or even the United States. I have a piece at my house by a black artist. It's 2 pieces. And what it is it's a photo of a young woman, and in her eyes is a slave ship, in essence, as it's leaving Africa for the transatlantic slave trade. And so in essence, that's what this looks like. So just imagine enslaved Africans in chains, leaving this land, being out in this water here, never to return home. That right there speaks to somewhat what this experience is like. I mean, we know we're going to return home, but the reality is to leave these shores and to be in a hull of a ship, stacked. Like sardines, if you will. That's how enslaved Africans left. And it's something that none of us should ever forget. Because no other group of people actually experienced anything like that. They weren't dressed like us. They had chains. They were naked. They were branded. So we must understand the reality of how heinous the Portuguese, the Dutch, the Brits, the Americans, everyone participated in the slave trade. Switch.
Sure.
All right, folks. So we have made it to El Mina, slave dungeon. It was 30 plus minute more a canoe ride over, and so of course we toured it. Just gave you a perspective again what it was like going from one slave dungeon to the other, and it was certainly a surreal journey. Again, if you think about a number of our ancestors who literally chose these waters to actually die instead of staying on a ship in the unknown of where they were headed. So, yeah.
After completing our adventurous journey, I went back to our hotel to shower and change clothes. I was drenched, so we could make our way to Pt.3. I had never heard of Renee Neblett and the Pt.3 Institute, but my Ghanaian producer, Michelle McKinney-Hammond, told me that it would be a fascinating place to visit and profile, and oh, was she right.
Renee,
Hey.
how's it going?
Good, welcome. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
Good.
So, all right, let's talk about this arts education village thing.
Okay. Here you are actually at Pt.3 Institute's Design Center. And here our focus is in education, traditional culture, sustainability, resourceful design, and their role in economic development.
First time you came to Ghana, when'd you move here?
I came to Ghana very early, but the second time relating to Pt.3, I came in 1989.
So the first time you came though?
Yeah, I came to Ghana in 1973.
Okay, and then 16 years later, you decided to move here.
Yeah.
That had to be a different decision.
Yeah, it was interesting. I actually had been living in Europe. I studied in Germany for years, and I was fortunate to get a fellowship to Harvard and go back to the States, and ended up artist in residence at a kind of fancy New England prep school. And it was actually from there that I made the move.
Okay.
I kind of jokingly tell people I left during Black Power and went back to minority recruiting. and somehow that sounded like the Office of Bantu Affairs to me.
So you started. So when you came here, So you started just what? Now we see all kinds of stuff in here, but you started what? Just bags?
In the design center, about 10 years ago, I decided that just watching what development was doing in Ghana, that I wanted to do some training with local youth. And I thought, okay, what do you want to do? I want to make a product. I want to make something. So what was that something? It turned out to be a school bag because it resonated with education. And I wanted to make something make a statement about trash and all the rubbish that was around. So I actually started making a bag out of the advertising banners. And actually, I'd been in Switzerland and saw that Freitag bag that they were making out of the material from the big trucks. And we didn't have that here, but we had the advertising banners, so I made a school bag out of advertising banners.
And that's what started
That's what started
all of this.
It's a very crazy story because I made about 50 bags, put up an exhibition in Accra. Literally 2 weeks after I put up the exhibition, somebody came to me and said, can you make 25,000 school bags?
Whoa.
And in those days, I had like 3 sewing machines, no building and nothing. And so instinctively, I said yes. Yeah, I'm not good at math, but I knew 25,000
Yes,
times
precisely.
anything was something.
Precisely.
So we were walking out of my work and turned to me and said, Auntie, can we make 25,000 bags? I said, I don't know, but somebody can. Let's just get the money. So that's actually how it started.
So now you're going way beyond school bags. So we got jeans and so explain all this stuff.
Okay.
Like, what are you doing with the jeans?
Okay, let me say something. What's very interesting, what most people don't know, is that textiles, second only to oil, is the world's greatest polluter. And what kind of masquerades as philanthropy, all these used clothing coming to the developed world, really is a burden. Over 1 million pieces of used clothes go into landfill every week in Accra alone. In and
A
around.
million?
Pieces a week.
Wow.
Okay? So I decided, what kind of impact could we have? So I decided that I want to make a product. What kind of material could I use? I said jeans is durable. There's plenty of them all on the ground at the Obuniweru market. So I decided I was going to make a product out of jeans. And then I thought, okay, I'm also going to use old cotton. Because people don't get rid of clothes because they're no good. They get rid of them because they're out of style. So I decided to use sheets, pillowcase, table napkins, tablecloths, and denim.
Okay. But did you always do arts, this sort of stuff, or did you learn it?
Actually, I always wanted to be an artist. I did my first degree in English. And I come from Boston, a small African-American community. In those days, we were taught that education transforms society. So even though I wanted to be an artist, I put that aside and I did education. And it's not until after really the civil rights movement that I moved to Germany and went to the Kunstakademie in Dusseldorf and did my bachelor's and master's of fine arts. And so kind of what's been my journey is having my love for art, my passion for education, kind of find a parallel track.
So you're at a point now where you see anything and say, oh, I can do something with that.
Pretty much.
I can do something with that.
Pretty much. Pretty much. You realize, I'll tell you what I just gave a little talk and I was saying, while we're working to get rid of plastics and all the waste, the fact is they are a part of our landscape and we should look at them the same way we look at rocks and trees and branches and see how we can use them.
And you started with 3 sewing machines. How many do you have in here now?
Oh, we've got about 40 machines in total.
Wow. And so the workers, are they folks from the village?
Absolutely.
Who you trained?
They've been trained by us here.
And
my chief trainer, Jamil.
And let's talk about that, because when you talk about training, this is not a skill set that's actually in this area.
No.
And so you've actually brought that in your teach. First of all, you're still teaching.
Absolutely.
You're still teaching, and it's providing a skill set. You said something earlier about how we have to change our view of literacy.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and also tradition. As I said, when I came to Ghana in 1989, Pt.3 was a paradise. Accra was just a big village. There was no plastics. It was an amazing place. And when I came to this village in 1989, we didn't get electricity till 1997. Okay, it was pitch black. There was nothing. You could have made a 360-degree turn where you turned off that main road and you would not have seen one single structure. For the first time in my life, I understood what it meant by the light of the moon. Because when there was a full moon, this place was lit up and life was abundant and people were sitting around telling stories. And And so just watching that change, watching, the whole landscape change, watching how the young people don't aspire to the occupations of their parents, but they don't have the skills to access this kind of new landscape of the world of the market economy, made me think, you know what? Something needs to be done. Now, I was inspired by what was here because you have to remember, less than a generation ago, all these kids, the people in this village, knew everything about their environment. They knew what every tree was. They knew what every plant was. They knew what the leaf could do, what the root could do, what the bark could do. People had a literacy that blew me away. Okay, they knew what nature gave and what they had to give in return, and that was sad to see that going. So when I said education, traditional culture, sustainability, part of my sensibility was informed by being here. And in fact, people use their hands. Okay, so teaching sewing, all people, there's a sewing machine on every corner. What is missing, though, is that world of quality, of resourceful design, of understanding how to interface, to understand that tradition evolves. You don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You have a skill. That skill can be appropriated in a new context.
And apply it to so many other different areas.
Thank you.
I mean, it's interesting. You were just talking about sewing, and we were at Cape Coast, and we were getting some drone shots. And there was a young man who and he was dealing with the netting, the fish netting.
Yeah.
In essence, he was actually sewing. He was stitching and tying it all together. And I was just sitting there watching him as he was doing it. It's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Now, a person wouldn't think, okay, how can I go from, stitching fish netting to making some designs with denim?
Exactly.
But it's still the same thing applies.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of, getting away from a kind of colonial chalk and talk education that had people stuck in one place doing the same thing over and over, to begin to look inward, to look at the resources that exist here. I mean, Ghana is a landscape of endless opportunity and possibilities, okay? And because we don't look critically at ourselves, there's not the kind of critical self-awareness as Africans, what we have and what our resources are. And to know that the whole world of so-called art and modern art is based on this reality. Okay, and it wasn't just enough to teach kids a vocational skill. We decided there should be some essential skills that they needed to kind of access this world of the emerging market economy. The ability to communicate well, the ability to work in teams, to prioritize, to estimate, to make decisions, to understand quality. So that it's a kind of active discourse and interface with what we're doing, with the goal that this is going somewhere. So the products, when you go across and see our little boutique, our sewing is first class.
Let's go across. Let's do it. Like, what's this?
Oh, this is fun. This is a new little piece.
Is it a raincoat?
It's a raincoat made out of the plastics that they wrap meat in and the water sachets.
Wow.
And it's a really cool thing. It has a little hoodie inside that attaches to the back, and you can just throw it in the back of your car, and there's your raincoat.
Wow.
Completely recycled material, and cool because there's a little fishing net, so you got a little air vent.
Okay.
So it's well designed.
All right. So this is where your sewing
Production
machines
unit,
are?
yep.
Production. Okay, so what we got over here?
Over here is another kind of workspace where we work with plastics, and then we have a retail space to the right. And so this is, as I said, a workspace where we deal with plastics and storage.
Okay, so you're taking these plastics in, saying we're gonna make stuff.
Yeah.
And so you're going. Look, you got the tops, you got everything.
Yeah, this is
small
cool.
bottles.
Let me show you what this is. This is a chandelier I'm working on. We're making a large chandelier.
A chandelier.
Out of plastics. That's going to look like an amazing big flower in this new shop.
Okay.
So you just have to imagine all of these pieces kind of on top of each other.
Oh, there's going to be one large chandelier.
Yeah, oh,
Whoa.
it's huge. Oh, no, yeah, this is components. It's going to be about 15 pieces coming down with copper pipes and small candle lighting fixtures.
Wow.
So, and here's something else that's pretty cool, actually. We take the wire.
And that's computer wire.
Computer wire, just trash, complete trash.
Stuff folks throw away.
Things that people throw away, and sometimes we take cow horn and polish it and make the edge of it so that you get belt handles, and they become belts. Okay, here's one that's kind of finished, actually. There you can see this here with a glass bead at the end of it.
So now it's a belt.
It's a cool belt.
I'm going to need a bigger belt.
You're gonna get one.
I'm gonna need a bigger one. That one won't fit me.
And
then I
inside here-
want to see your Basquiat doors.
Cool. And so here's some cut glass, and these are just bottles. Okay, this is just a wine bottle that I cut the top off and polish and make a carafe. Okay, this is the same wine bottle that I cut differently, and I can make a light fixture. Okay, this is the same bottle that we cut differently and frost the edge, and then put it inside another glass, and you can have candle holders that can light your way going up. And again, it's all about resourceful design, thinking about what you have. And here's the same bottle that we just put inside a local kiln that they do the beads in, and let it kind of, what do you say, it melts, you know, you slump it. You know, glass will take the form of anything you slump it over. And then here's one that we don't make a vase out of, but we polish the edge of it and make a carafe.
Wow.
Okay. Here's a whole box of Heineken bottles that we cut and polish so that we make sets of glasses that you can give as gifts. This is just a Heineken bottle that's been cut and polished. Everything in here, even my mannequins that are holding the clothing, it's just a bicycle handlebar, a brake router, and a pipe. This, the water bottle again, that I make purses out of. Okay.
A water bottle purse.
Yep, water bottle purse. This is designer stuff, sorry to say. This is Vogue, classy Vogue stuff with little bits of copper, okay? Here's our clutch bag made out of, we call this the shell clutch, made out of, again, water bottles
Water bottle and denim.
and denim, recycled denim. Here's again our old denim, and this, I'm very proud of these. This is just old denim again, and we make a very
In pockets.
funky cloth.
That's
neck
cool.
scarf. Just very simple neck
You can
scarf.
hold stuff in here.
Exactly.
All right.
Just laid back and easy.
See, this is something that, I mean, again, as I'm sitting here thinking about
Sure.
it, it's not just, you know, what you're doing here. I mean, you could literally transfer this to communities in the States.
Well, that's our goal. Let me wait a second.
I mean,
Let me just show
communities
you.
where, I mean, it's the same thing.
Can I show you something? This is all old denim. Okay? This is a well-designed, and this is one of our coats.
Wow.
This is New York. This is Berlin.
All day.
This is Santa Fe.
They are paying, they were $3,000-$4,000.
Okay? And what's beautiful about this is it's all repurposed fabric.
Wow.
What distinguishes it is our quality control, our stitching, and our design. And this is a classic trench.
Okay, Renee's going to have to make me one of those for my size. I already have my
No,
measurements.
okay, you get your measurements.
I got my measurements. Oh, I got them with me.
You know, so let me show you the bleach
Where
denim.
someone else has decided what's fashionable.
Okay, here's the bleach denim. Okay, where we take the color out of the denim. And this is the bleach denim trench.
A denim trench coat.
Okay? Talk to me.
Now she flexing. Now she like, talk to me.
But I think what we've done is we've created, our goal was to create a world-class product, fashion product, sustainable fashion coming straight from Ghana, from Accra. Okay, that's world-class. And we have done pop-ups in Berlin, we've done pop-ups in Santa Fe, we've done pop-ups in New York, and things have been really marvelously received. And what's nice about every piece we have, to let you know you're in Ghana, is there's a little piece of kente. Thanks. Okay. This coat can go anywhere.
Yep, you got that right.
You needed that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. A Heineken beer bottle, but it was water. That's cool. But see, I think to me, the same thing you're talking about here, taking denim and cable wires and plastic, you could literally go into black communities.
Would love to do.
In Chicago,
Yeah,
in Houston,
yeah.
all across America, and take these
Because look, we know that black kids, we're the trendsetters.
Exactly.
I mean, they're doing stuff with redesigning sneakers and stuff along those lines. That's exactly what that is.
Exactly.
And I bet you drive people crazy when you're like, oh, I can make something out of that. I can make something out of that. They look at you like, oh, she thinks she bad. You're like, no, I can make something out of that. But it literally is. It's just having the ingenuity to look at something differently than what it was originally designed for.
Exactly. You know, here's nice because this is what we get the old jeans. I think I showed you the old jeans. And what we do is we completely take them apart. Some people buy jeans and they restitch them. We take them apart. We take them apart for their buttons, which we make our buttonholes out of.
Oh, okay.
That's one of our features of our fabrics.
All right.
We take off all the pockets. We take off the waistline.
Right.
We take this waistline off, and when I show you inside, we open it up and use it as strips, and we tie-dye it, and it looks like kente.
So basically, all the stuff black people in the South used to do with a pig.
We do it with
That's what you do with jeans. You use every part of the jeans.
We do. Every single part of it. Here's where we collect old materials. So here's our kind of carpentry space. As I said, we go around and collect the old pieces of wood, anything, and it becomes basis for furniture.
Now, have you ever been stumped where you went, what in the hell am I going to do with this?
Yep, and yes. But you know what?
Then you figure it out.
Well, what we've done, I actually built this institute so that we can bring together a community of people with ideas. So we can all put our heads together and imagine what's possible with what we have and what's around us. And so sometimes we have really design workshops. Like these are from the automobile. But I use them, I put them on a pipe, and I use them to hold jewelry. You saw that in the other room. Had a whole bunch of them there. So here's some of the bicycle handle. Here's the bicycle racks, and sometimes I use those so they kind of look like heads. You'll see them over there on the side. So we have welding facility here, woodworking. You know, they have these big old pots that you get in the cooking pots. I use these to make stews. It's just been a high gloss paint, but it's nothing but an old aluminum pot. And here's the glasses again. If you look at the back here, I've got gobs and gobs of glasses. And so I keep
that's all your future products.
Exactly. All that trash is going to come to life.
All that trash, you will get paid from that trash and not through just the nickel recycling.
Exactly. So you look at the bicycle rims, because when you go upstairs, you're going to see some chairs I made out of those.
Out of bicycle rims?
Yeah. You'll see the chairs upstairs.
How many levels is this?
It's actually 2.5. There's a mezzanine, so it's 2.5 levels. So downstairs we have our production unit.
Right.
This is our showroom.
Okay.
And we also have our computer lab in here on the mezzanine. And there's also a full apartment at the end of this building where
Now,
my
before
production
you were talking about these lights?
Yeah, all of our outdoor lights are made with whiskey bottles and pieces of flat iron.
Wow. All right, so we got this big open space here.
Yeah.
So what you got? What's going on in here?
Okay, well, one cool thing that I can show you right away is our bicycle rim chair.
So this is the bicycle rim chair.
Yep. That's the bicycle rim chair, and it's really comfortable.
It is.
And it's very sturdy.
Looks good.
And it's made again of the used jeans, some kente, and then some bleached denim. And this was done with I told you what we try to do is bring a consortium of young artists. Elise McMahon came down to work with us from Like-Minded Objects and ran some workshops for young people. And that's what we want to continue doing. I want to train young people to understand production. Okay, we can be in the game.
Yep.
We can be in the game.
Because people, this is stuff. I mean, seriously, this is stuff that people buy.
Yeah, Jamil, let me take this down. I want to show them our rugs made out of denim.
Rugs made out of denim?
Let me show you.
This is a denim rug.
Okay, you can look at the back. Let me show you the back of it. You can see it's all denim. Okay? And you turn it over. That's the African.
Oh, that's a sister.
That's right.
I can tell.
That's right. And the light fixture here is made out of an old colander.
That's a colander?
Uh-huh. And a flat iron.
This is a colander and wine bottles.
Yep. Wine and beer bottles mixed up.
See, if somebody hired you to do interior decorating for their house,
We'll kill it.
you would totally destroy it. Totally destroy it. First of all, let me tell you something. My man Mario Van Peebles is a huge environmental dude. I mean, his whole house. Trust me, when Mario sees this video, he's gonna come running to holler at you. That is a huge rug.
All made out
This
of
is
denim.
all denim.
Yes.
Trust me, I know people who would love this is.
And look at, you can see this, Roland. Look at this, you'll see. All denim.
What used to be jeans
Used to be jeans.
is now a huge
rug.
rug.
And a substantial one. It's a really well put
Oh,
together
it
rug.
is.
Real quick out, but you have to see this because here's the water bottles.
This is what you're talking about,
Yeah.
the stained glass.
Exactly.
So if that sun,
If the lights were out, let me see if you can get a sense of it. Wait a minute. It really is pretty remarkable the way it looks.
this was what?
Washing machine tumbler.
See, here's the problem. There's nothing. So let me tell you how crazy this is. Okay, it's so much stuff around here. I'm tempted to say, okay, Renee, what you make this water thing out of? Everything around here is made out of something.
And up here, what I'm really proud of here is our mezzanine, which is Wi-Fi. So this is for like-minded people. Anybody who has ideas, anybody who's interested in sustainability, in design, and education is invited to have a hotspot here.
Gotcha.
So that we can build a community and make an impact.
Let's go across the street to the Institute.
And our sofa's all jeans.
The sofa,
The entire sofa is made out of used jeans.
the whole sofa.
The entire sofa.
The inside stuff, what's that?
It's made out of the local, what they used to make mattresses out of. The you know that kind of white cottony stuff that they used to, in the village use for mattresses? That's what we used. It's local material.
Nuts. I mean, it's literally looking at anything
Yep.
and going, what could that be?
It is kind of crazy, but it's a lot of fun too. When I first came here, when I tell you Ghana is amazing, this plant, when I first came here, I used to watch people take the fiber from this sisal plant. They used to take it from this plant and dry it and twist it into twine. This is where twine comes from.
Oh.
Okay, that's the sisal plant. And you used to, literally, when I first came here, people would take this. That's that white. You know, they use it too for POP. Okay, they dry this. And it grows like a weed. I mean, there's industries in every corner waiting to happen here. I was inspired by two people, W.E.B. Du Bois, and I was inspired by Booker T. Washington. And why that's so crazy is because they were seen as being at opposite ends of the spectrum. But as an artist, what I've learned is that perspective is really just point of view. And they both had a point of view, and from that point of view, they were right. Okay?
Right.
Industrial education was important so you could get on your feet, and having a education of the humanities and the classics was also important.
Right.
And at the end, they would have ended up in the same space. But I'm saying that to tell you that all of our buildings are constructed of compressed earth bricks made of laterite. I did not build with cement. Okay? The local laterite, those forts and castles were built out of laterite, and they've lived for hundreds of years. All of my buildings, I produced my own bricks. Every brick that built these buildings here, we produced on site.
Wow.
So all of our buildings, if you notice, have overhanging eaves,
Right.
rock and stone foundations, and earth bricks. So our buildings are cool, and they're protected by the overhanging eaves. These structures, again, made out of earth, are over 25 years old. You know, what's interesting is I worked with a young Ghanaian architect, Alero Olympio, and she was the first
I
person.
see the color you put in down, the specs.
Yeah, and these were broken tiles. So this was a lot of used materials. All those were broken tiles that I collected and used. And Alero Olympio was the first person who said, okay, you want to build an education institution, but what do you really want to do? What do you want to happen here? And I said, I want to have a place that celebrates African intelligence. I want to do as much as I can to appropriate traditional African thinking into a modern context. I want to create a place where students can live in community. And she said to me, okay, we're going to build this campus in a series of courtyards like the Ashantis, where when you come out of your room in the morning, you have to greet your neighbor. You're going to live in a courtyard.
So folks can stay here.
Yes, there's rooms. I can house up to 40 students.
Wow.
at
Okay.
Pt.3. So we run short-term learning programs here.
Okay.
And this is the Office for the Educational Programs. And these are all housing and dorm units around here. And so the campus is built in a series of 3 courtyards. This is the first one, which is administration and faculty.
40 students.
Yeah, we have housing. You know, it's dorm-like, and then double occupancy. Some rooms take 6 students. Some rooms, the lofts. All the rooms have lofts. You can see there's 3 rooms up here. And then we have we have a local basketball court.
Right.
We let the kids from the village come in and use the basketball court. I'm gonna give you a treat you haven't had in years. Break that open. There's some fresh peanuts for you.
You ain't lying, because I don't eat peanuts.
You don't eat peanuts?
I have, it's crazy. I am not a
don't,
nut person.
All right, then don't eat them. But
No,
I'm just
but-
gonna show it to you. That's a nice
I am not
fresh
a nut
nut.
person, but
But you have to admit that's pretty cool.
that is cool. George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver.
He's alive and well in Ghana.
Alive and well in Ghana in 2019.
Here you go.
So y'all, now, you planted that?
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so
We have organic gardens,
okay, I don't eat nuts, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat this peanut in Ghana.
nice and fresh.
They're real fresh. It's ain't processed.
Nothing.
So you got tomatoes,
Yeah.
lettuce. I
yeah.
see basil,
Yeah.
onions.
Yeah. Carrots, aubergine, squash. It's coming to an end now
That's
because
a
the
peanut?
rainy season. But it's not roasted.
You ain't lying. They ain't how peanut normally tastes.
It's a
See,
and the rest.
but you just said something. You just said 3 critical words. Time to think.
Time to think.
And I think that I do believe that the people don't understand why that matters. I used to, I did something when I was a kid. I would, which I still do today. So I would lay in my bed, I would lay on the floor. I would take a baseball, softball, take a basketball, football. I would literally just toss it in the air. And I would think about problems. And then think about the solution to the problems. So when the thing actually happened, I've already processed it, and so my decision making is that quick. And I kept, like I said earlier, I said this thing with think. It is I'm driven by that because I just really believe that the ability to just sit still and think through things and process things allows you sort of see. I don't know if you ever saw the movie In Search of Bobby Fischer.
Yes.
These scenes, I talk about in my speeches all the time, was when he said, see the board, then when he knocks all the chips on the floor, he said, now make the moves. He was trying to get him to see the moves with no pieces there.
You know, can I say something? You know, I'm so glad you picked up on that in terms of time to think. I can just bear with this little narrative.
Go ahead.
You know, life is very strange. When I got to Europe and I was a student, when I got my first teaching position, I shared an art studio. I was teaching at the international school with an Englishman who was a landscape painter, all tweeted down and very proper. And, you know, I'm coming out of America, and I'm coming out, at those days now, it's South Africa and everything. I'm like, tear for Biko, soon the bush will rumble. Everything I was doing was black and white and strong and boom. And every now and then I'd be in the studio, and I'd be banging away with my rage, and I'd look over at this English guy, and he's doing a study of a rock, or sitting in the garden looking at a tree or a flower. And he used to make me angry. I was like, doesn't he have anything to think about? You know, what's wrong with him? Until one day I realized that my life was the aberration, that you deserve to look at a rock. It's our human right to look at a tree, to be able to marvel at nature, to be engaged. And I think when I went back to America, after being away so long, and leaving during Black Power and going back to minority recruiting and affirmative action, when I first heard that, I'm not lying, it sounded like the Office of Bantu Affairs. At that moment, I couldn't articulate it. But when I had a chance to sit and think, I thought to myself, wow, that's what happened to a legitimate struggle for equal access under the law. They actually managed to institutionalize our second-class citizenship. Okay?
Which is why what Ellis Cole talks about in his book, The Rage of a Privileged Class, that group who were vice presidents of corporate affairs, of community affairs.
Exactly.
Individuals who had no budget, no staff, but had a VP title.
Exactly.
But didn't have the ability to transform an institution because they weren't in the power position.
Exactly.
Let's just go.
And
that's the thing. That's when you know that, look, I don't need that notion of what's education.
Exactly.
There's a whole other thing over here.
Exactly.
And that's really what this thing you created. I mean, this is crazy.
Thank you, Joan.
No, it is. It's crazy. Again, trust. I'm telling you, my sister, I already know she's going to be asking for a ticket to come here. And how long do the students come here? How long?
We run programs from 2 weeks to a semester long. You know what I want to say?
Oh,
and
Lord.
This is ours.
Zena,
We should use it and brainstorm and think about how to make it as relevant for ourselves and others as we can. That's what it's all about. And I mean that. That's what it's about. You know, creating a place where we can come and celebrate. And I keep telling people, you know, once you get rid, and trust me, if I talk about Africa and African Americans more, it's only because we've been talked about less.
Yep.
And we have a right to be and to have our story told.
Which is why my show, I talk about, it's a show for black people,
Yeah.
by black people. Because
Exactly.
guess what? I had the only daily Sunday show talking to African Americans for 4 years.
Right.
The only daily morning show talking to African Americans for 4 years. Got canceled in 2017. There's no other daily news show 5 days a week. We live stream 7 days a week. Nobody else.
Right.
Yeah, people are hopping on a couple times a week, just talking into the camera, but not literally producing a news show.
Exactly.
Yes, we don't have enough of it. Damn it, we're going to create it,
Exactly.
and we're going to do it.
Exactly.
Renee doesn't watch TV. She's barely on the internet. But after this airs, she's going to be like, oh my God.
What time is the show on?
All
That's what
these
I wanna
people,
know.
6 p.m. Eastern. But the beauty of it, we restream it so you can watch it whenever you want to watch it.
Cool. I mean,
Trust me, you're gonna start getting emails. You're gonna be like, what in the world happened? Well, I guarantee you're gonna get that response. Because folks, we didn't show you. We had the drone shot, but y'all hear the ocean. We out here, the landscaping, the garden. So this is where y'all have your group dinner.
Yeah, this is our dining pavilion where we eat in the evening, where students eat. You know, when we learn, we live and learn in community.
Yep.
Okay?
You learn from one another.
Exactly. And education is a process. And we're working with our hands and working with our minds. And we're working individually and collectively. That's
We gonna end it right there. Renee, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
On our way, one of our producers, Amma Aberbracey, insisted we make a pit stop in Mankesim. Mankesim is located about 46 miles from the capital of Accra.
So I told you, I don't like vertical.
Yes, sir.
Mankesim is famous for its bread, especially their large bread rolls. They're mostly sold by the street vendors who come right to your vehicle so you don't have to get out.
This is bread.
Often you can get them warm, fresh out of the oven, even at night. And that's what we did.
So what is this? We just stopped for this. Okay, what's up with this bread? What is it called?
Okay, so this is Mankesim, which means a big town, and they're famous in Ghana for bread like this, and it's sweet bread, and it's just.
But all the black people who are watching, who love Hawaiian rolls,
Yes.
this is essentially Hawaiian rolls.
But it is Mankesim bread, Mankesim brodo.
Okay.
So this is Africa, so we're first.
So y'all, so what happened is, so they like, they said we got to stop. We got to stop in this town. They said for some bread and apple. I said we're going to the grocery store. Like no, side of the road.
Yes, yes. Oh, and then we bought what we call pear, but it's avocado as well. So it goes very well with it. Do you want to try?
And it's very, very sweet.
Do you want to
I'm
try?
good.
You're
I'm good.
The avocado is not American avocado.
But then, again, when you stop at the grocery store, pull over the side of the road. Y'all see all this? Literally selling products and everything right here out the window.
Yeah.
Hey, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But I haven't eaten since breakfast, but the bread is extremely good. Okay, we got to go. We got another hour to get back to the crib. Deuces.
The bread certainly made for a great late night snack as we headed to sleep.